Oh, it's Chuck motherfucking Reeves. I'm trying to ring up our guests right now, but we're not even doing a regular show tonight. I'm just gonna do an hour of shit talk with my homeboy Mad Maxx. Stay tuned. The Beard speaks now.
Oh, come on, he's a miserable cocksucker fucking asshole. You hate him, admit it.
Turn your phone. Can you turn your phone? Oh, you know what? I think we dealt with this the last time, too. Give me 1 second. We up in this motherfucker. I figure tonight, since it's hump day, since there's lots of stuff going on in the world and in the underground, I would just have on one of my favorite people to guest on the show, the big homie Mad Maxx. How you doing, brother? No, I can see you. You're just in up and down format. So, can I? I just got to get my accoutrement together, and then I'm set it down. Don't worry. All right. Well, when you sit down, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hang up with you, and I'm gonna call you right back and answer it with the phone on its side. Right. No, I got you. You feel me? You feel me? We're gonna work it out. It's been a minute since you've been on the show. I'm excited. I know the heads are excited. There was no pre-show. So we can just take this minute to let these heads populate the chat and do what they're going to do. What's your accoutrement for tonight smelling like? Weed and I actually have tabs again, finally. Oh, no, I figured that was what the deal was. I got my pen. I got my pen handy dandy. But yeah, there's a bunch of shit going on that we can talk about. I'm pretty excited to get your takes on a few things and to share some ideas.
All right, let's see here. I'm getting back up here, so I'll be sitting down. Let me get my spot figured out before you actually hang up and call me back here.
All right. Hey, for the record, heads, my name is Chuck Reeves. You're joining myself and Mad Maximilian. This is BeardSpeaks episode 120 ticks. 120 ticks. That's 126. All right, so now because you're on your side, I'm going to hang up with you and call you back. All right, bet. All right, we're going to do that. And then we are immediately going to call him back and see if he can answer in the proper orientation to take up the whole screen. No. Does your phone have an auto rotate setting that needs to be put on?
Yep, hold up.
You feel me? Auto rotationals here on the beard. There we go. Now tilted further, tilted back further so I get your face. Tilted back further so I get your face. There you go. Now, first things first, Mad Maxx, welcome back to the Beard Speaks. It's been a hot minute. It was definitely, I think, the entire month of February, but I didn't have no guests for a minute. I didn't have. I mean,
you're building your brand, doing the thing, man.
But, why you got the Shia LaBeouf haircut?
It never does nothing, so I wanted to grow my hair out.
Jesus had dreads, so you're going to shake them.
It started to look good, and now it's like, I don't know. I prefer having hair to not having hair. That's pretty much where I'm at.
Jesus had dreads. We going to shake them. You didn't have none, but you planning on growing some. Just like E40 in this motherfucker. But all right, let's dive right into some shit right quick. Okay? All right, so one thing I've seen popping up on my feed, and I just saw a video that some fucking 30 IQ having motherfucker out in Arizona put up talking shit about it, I guess. I didn't even, I don't watch videos like that anymore. But have you had the opportunity as an MC to go over there and peruse the situation at mnebeats.com.
Okay, so no.
Okay.
But, so this is what I'll say about that. Is number one, if you look at the beat game, as far as buying instrumentals and shit like that, number one, the game is so saturated that at a certain point, there are people out there with not like epic quality, but with decent quality that you can get a beat like 5 beats for like $25, legit. Like, and in some cases they'll even get you track outs. Now this is what I've heard, that for something like $150 you get, it's like a lease.
The unlimited leases are $130. But you don't even have to.
You don't get track outs with that though.
Yeah, well, you get a WAV file and you get an MP3.
Well, no, what I mean by wave and MP3.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, and you have to like, you have to. There's a stem fee, so you have to hit them up to get that.
Well, all right. Well, so here's the thing.
I mean, they're available, obviously.
On one hand, some of these guys, like I'll tell you right now, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that Godsend's lease plans are pretty low as far as on his site. I know that in most cases, if I can't afford somebody off the rip, I'm not going to go look too deep into what they got. So that's why I'm not like 1,000% sure what his price structure is. But I know he's super fair. I've talked to him before. He's a real solid dude. Godsend is the shit. But my take on this is that people are paying for the name. They're not paying for the beats. And the beats are good.
There you go. There you fucking go. You hit the nail on the head. People are paying for the ability to put produced by, the ability to put produced by and then throw a tag on there, whether it be.
Right now, I think it's a happy bonus for me, like the Still I Rise thing, which I think is a cool idea. I like that beat a lot.
I bought it. You can use my entry beat because I bought it.
Oh no, I already did too.
Oh, you did? See, good. I'm glad. Like, that's my thing, is I think people need to take advantage of this. And even if you get something in on that introductory beat level, if you exceed, you know what I mean? Like, you start at that low level and then you let sales dictate whether you owe them more money. You feel me? Like, start low and then let your sales dictate whether you owe them more money.
Here's an interesting thought. I saw somebody talking, Godsend, I think actually it was, talking about this not that long ago, and I think there's some merit to it, is at this point, for most rappers, there's really not much of a reason to get exclusive beats.
No, not at all. Not at all.
As long as you can get the stems, like what the fuck, especially in the era of like mixtapes and remixes and shit, it's not like it even really makes a difference. Not to mention, a lot of people end up blowing up off of these like half remixes of like, there was 1,000 remixes.
Oh, wait a minute. We're having an issue, apparently. Hold on. Apparently, we're having a fucking issue.
With what?
Nobody can hear you.
Really?
Hold on. That it's not you. It's me. Don't worry about it. That was my fuck up, Maximilian. So let's try that again. I am being dumb. See, this was all residual from yesterday's fucking whack show. Look at that. People
that'll happen sometimes.
People in the motherfucking shit were fucking freaking out. People are texting my phone.
Like, dude, what the fuck?
See?
Hold on.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I
if
just
you didn't
got
understand, we were talking about M&A Beats. Mad Max was talking about the fact that in current day and age, your standard underground MC does not need exclusive beats.
Well, depending on how long they couldn't have heard me, the other thing to say
they
is
haven't heard any of it.
My take on the MNE beats, because again, I do think that, the price is up there, but you're paying for the name, and essentially, like, I think of it like this, in the sense of, like, when you're making a flyer for a show, if you happen to be opening for whoever, let's say Strange in this case, you can put the snake and bat on your flyer. Yep. And just psychologically, just that snake and bat is going to have other people immediately
look. It's a
look like,
effect. Anybody who's taken a marketing class should understand about, like, strictly having, monoxide on that beat.
Exactly.
Being
And you
able,
want to
being able
I'm
to
not gonna
say that in
bullshit.
the rap.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if there's a beat on there that Monoxide made for $130, that's not bad.
There's
you know
a
what I'm saying?
bunch. In my opinion, they're not bad. None of the beats are bad.
I mean, but here's the couple of things that you need to understand. Number one, it's the internet. People are going to find ways to jack it. People are going to find ways to exploit it. That's the way these things work. But this is also what I'll say is, like, I think that for what they're doing, this is the kind of thing that it's like, it's a good and bad. It's a double-edged blade, because on the bad side, it's like a musical version of the laundry detergent. Because it's like, do you really need to do it? Is it really necessary?
The laundry detergent was a goof, but nonetheless, people like when you see
fair
people,
enough. You're right. Fair
there's
enough.
people like Annie O'Domini, who in this case I keep bringing up, and if you're not familiar with who Annie O'Domini is,
what are you serious? Come on,
who raps and ever shops for beats ever.
I placed in a contest he did like 10 years ago when I first moved out.
That dude makes $1 million plus a year on that non-exclusive beat subscription service.
Oh yeah, no, dude.
Every 90 days you get like 1,000 beats.
Thing. I mean, I'm sure you know that he's got like a dozen different beat makers under his fucking wings,
but
right?
He's also got those clauses in all those contracts where, let's say, one of the monkeys at one of the typewriters that he's selling beats to by the fucking ton, and one of these guys uses one of these beats and the shit goes platinum, he's protected to where they're gonna owe him more money. And that's what this deal with M&E Beats is structured like. You know, the $30 deal is up to a certain number of units. But the thing is, it caps out at $130. So at $130, if you sell 1 million, you don't owe them any more than if you sold 25,000.
And you want to know what? That it raises an interesting point, and that's where I'll go to right now. Is that, you know what? I used to think about this in the past, and this is why it kind of changed the way that I'm thinking moving forward. Is that, like, motherfuckers get cocky, like, oh, I'm gonna, it's like you get caps out of 5,000 copies. Oh, I don't know about, man. How about you sell that 5,000
You know
first?
how hard it is to move 5,000. I don't even want to talk about it.
Dude, real shit. I'm not going to throw my actual numbers out there, but I will say that, that shit is not easy to get to.
No.
Like, real talk, man. I think that people undervalue the process of actually going through all this and doing it. Because, again, to somebody that's never been involved in it, they could probably just look at this and be like, oh, yeah, it's a cash grab, this and that. But the reality is, based on the way that the underground rap market works, because if you think this shit ain't a market, you ain't been paying attention. This shit is the kind of place where somebody can, within the circle of, let's say, 5,000 to 10,000 dedicated fans, be well known enough that he's worth like $100, $200 because this other person knows that when they sell their shit, they're going to get, at least through streams and certain amounts of sales, they're going to get at least, like, let's say half of that back. And then at $130, I would, like, just on the idea of how much did you spend on merch? How much would you spend on a t-shirt or a charm? Now you just want to spend it on a beat. You want to know why? Because everybody fucking raps now. Everyone.
But the other thing on top of that is, because we talked about,
there's legitimacy to it as well, but I mean, let's think of it in the broader spectrum. That's what I'm saying.
You're paying to put a name on the shit, and you're paying to put a tag on some shit. So
I guess you want to know what? Because if you can put an album out,
you'd ever be able to get a Fritz the Cat beat for that little?
Well, oh no, true indeed. Well, this is what I'm saying, man.
Now, some of those names are bigger than others. Obviously, Mono's beats are going to go for a lot. They're going to go a lot more.
But you want to know what though?
Fritz.
This is also gonna. I mean, this could lead to some interesting things just based on. This is going to make it a little bit more of an open market / open forum for some of these art, like Mono. If somebody wanted to email MNE Beats and be like, "Yo, I got 5 racks. What's good?" You know what I'm saying? Not everybody.
There's a link for that. There's a link for you to get your.
He's gonna open things up because I don't think that it's really. I don't think it's been like that as much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's quite been to the point where they are as accessible. Like I've known people where like, you know, if we wanted to push down the avenues and had the money, we could do it, but they're not as accessible to the typical just, you know, guy that's out there. So I think that could be something interesting that happens too. But again, realistically, for just $130 to make an album, and in the liner notes, you are legally allowed to write produced by Monoxide of Twist. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they're insisting on.
Oh, what? Did you credit them?
That's part of the contract, yes.
Well, but wouldn't I mean, no, true indeed, but wouldn't that be like, isn't that half the reason of doing it that way?
Well, that's what I mean. But that's also in the
here's my
case of
thing.
somebody.
I know that, like, case in point, I know that Godsend has beats on there, but at the same time, I don't know that. I'm pretty sure he's still got his own catalog. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that he's exclusively just doing shit through them, which, I mean, however he wants to do it, he's a pretty smart guy. I'm sure he knows what he's doing, but, like, you know, the level of quality that you're going to get, I think this is another part of it, is a lot of people aren't necessarily willing to invest in quality anything, really. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm not even necessarily proud to say it, but this is the reason why it takes me longer to get more official shit put out, because I have a family and I got shit that I got to prioritize. So I can't just throw money at endeavors whenever I want, but when I can, I do. So it's like, the thing is that this shit may be a little bit much for some people, but you also have to figure, depending on what you plan to actually put into your project, $30 to $130 is not unreasonable. So it's like, yeah, it's a bit much, and yeah, you're not getting exclusive rights, but the fact of the matter is that, like you said, if it caps at 130 and then like however many units you sell, you essentially retain, I mean, I imagine the lion's share of the royalties, then what's the downside? You know what I'm saying? Are you gone now? What the fuck? Now I can't hear you.
Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Now I can
We're
hear you.
having all sorts of technical issues. So
How
the
long
other
did I-
thing that people...
How long did I go before?
Oh, no. You were... People can hear you just fine. That was just me being on mute for a minute. But
right. I forgot my torch.
Something that I'm sure they're banking on people thinking about, and something that I don't think is out of this world to assume, is that these guys who made these beats are going to be interested in what's being put on them.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So are you for your $130 or whatever?
Right.
Are you also buying 30 seconds of ear time with whatever producer this may be? And
this is what I think. In most cases, no. However, depending on how good the song is, like, look, this is what I mean.
So, like, if you
think fucking Young Wicked is gonna hear every "Still I Rise" contest entry, you're
that's
fucking
what
nuts.
they said, and that would make sense.
Really?
That's if they have to
fucking. But you want to know what, Chuck? That's what RA said, and Twisted was part of that. And I know for a fucking fact that they didn't listen to every single one.
Wow. Yeah. Well, they narrow it down. They narrowed that down.
Look, Chuck,
I know that.
Look, I'm not trying to suck my own dick here, but did you ever get to hear my definition of a rap flow contest?
I did, and I know, but like they were looking.
Come on now.
They're dumb.
I'm not trying to jerk myself
that whole
off.
contest was stupid.
That shit was dope.
The gatekeeper for that shit was Passionate MC.
There's
my argument.
Well, I guess. Well, I mean that's a facile argument, but it's an argument nevertheless.
So you're doing the Still I Rise contest.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I'm a verse and a hook into it, and I'm just trying to decide whether or not I still want to do 3 because I mean it's April 1st. It's not like time is the issue, but
yeah, you know what? I was thinking about doing one, but I don't like the beat, and I don't like that fucking song.
Really, I like it. I enjoyed it.
I'm not, I don't have a chopper flow. Even if I tried to do it, my flow. My flow does not match that at all.
I'm not usually the type either, but
I sound backwards on that shit.
I find that I'm trying to become more versatile with it, and I also, in the sense that also clearly, I need to lose shape and get in shape, lose weight, do better with all that, and fucking, oh, my wife is back from collecting the dead.
Bring out your dead. Bring
In the
out your
sense
dead.
in the sense of all that, chopping, I feel like, is something that I need to kind of get a little bit better at. If only because, you know, it implies a certain amount of, you know, breath fitness. But
So that's,
I mean,
so
again,
that's one contest. So you say you're going to do that one. Are you
Yeah,
are you are you ballsy enough to submit your Still I Rise contest entry as one
You
of
know,
the
it's
as one of
funny.
the 3
I
tracks?
had that
No,
thought.
as one of the 3 tracks to demo jams.
Here's the thing. Number one, we know who it's going to be going through. We know who the gatekeepers are for that. So
For
my
what? For
deal
demo
with that
jams?
is, I mean, as far as I know, it's going to be Jump Steady Rude Boy, and I think
Well,
that was Clay.
with what you've got to announce that's on your docket leading up to the gathering, I don't see why you wouldn't be in a position, especially with the fucking MI shit that just occurred, which I didn't even want to rush to. But
Oh, no,
congratulations on the apparent
Thank
victory.
you.
Now, you know I had problems with the nomination process because they nominated 3 records for the same fucking award. Dumb motherfuckers.
Well, I mean,
But
what are you going to do? Look, first of all,
you did win. A lot of people were hating, but
well, yeah, but you want to know what? At the end of the day, I have to look at it like this, man. Mission Infect was the kind of thing that when it first started, the reason why a lot of people didn't like it, and this honestly, this wasn't even me, because I was kind of off to the side with those guys for the most part, back then anyway. Like, those guys just got in people's fucking faces and did whatever they wanted. And that's kind of the thing. We just hopped back in out of nowhere like, hey, guess what, guys? And we just got all the shit done in like a couple of months. And then people are listening to it and being like, oh, shit, how did they fucking do this? And they just don't want to recognize that that's the level that we take this shit to, because we've been doing this for a long time. And, I mean, the other thing, too, is that low-key gets a lot of hate because, I mean, he's legitimately and empirically bigger and better than a lot of these other cats out there that hate on him. So it's like, I definitely understand why people want to talk shit. But the other thing, too, because I got mad love for Gorilla Voltage, like on some real shit. I talked to the slimmer one is Clockwork, right?
you say slimmer, but you ever seen that dude without his shirt on?
Well, so no, because the bigger dude is Mr. Gray with the glasses, right?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So Clockwork, I actually talked to him on Facebook Messenger like a year or so ago when their album first dropped, and he like, oh, shut the fuck up. But no, he
Hey, hold on. Is
he-
that your
he
wifey? Is
recognized-
that your wifey?
Yeah, no, like I said,
Hey,
she just got home
Ask
from.
her what she thinks about every fucking mortician in New Jersey having to recertify because like the main school there turned out to be fraudulent.
Wow, like she hasn't
like-
even said nothing about
Like
that. Okay,
every
so, yeah,
funeral
that's
director
all
and
we found
mortician
out
in New
about that.
Jersey.
Well, for one thing, there was never a school in New Jersey for it. That's why they
Well,
all
there
went to
must
Mount.
have.
That's why they all went to Mount Ida.
Oh, is
Well,
that
I
what
mean-
it was? But wherever it was turned out to be a fraud or something, and they all have
Well,
to
no,
research
this
it.
is what I'm
I mean,
saying
they-
is that I guess whatever
I
school
went
there
to
was.
school in
Well, yeah,
New
we're
England.
talking about Madison. We're talking about New Jersey.
Yeah, and I'm saying the ones that went to my school were from New Jersey. So it doesn't make sense if there was a school there that they would travel to Massachusetts.
Well, fair enough.
So
There is
obviously,
true. Well,
they
you
were
want to know
trying
what?
pull some
No,
shit.
you want to know what probably happened? It was probably a place like Fine that was trying to say like we're fully accredited, as opposed to Fine, that's just like, look, we're gonna tell you what you're gonna do, but we ain't got no fucking money, so we ain't got no fucking bodies, so you're just gonna have to, you're gonna have to do your
Pretend.
thing.
We're gonna pretend.
No, legit, man. It's all at that point, it's all
It's all
theoretical.
theoretical, yeah.
But I mean, the thing with Mission Infect, bro, is as long as it's been a lot of people hate. And my thing too is that, quite frankly, at this point, like I was saying from before I got fucking. The fact that Gorilla Voltage and Mission Infect were neck and neck. I don't know if you had paid attention, but
I did.
up until up until the last day, it was literally a margin of occasionally like 2 or 3 votes.
Yeah.
So like it was real tight competition. And like I said, I love those dudes. I love the dudes in Gorilla Voltage. I remember when the album came out, I specifically took some time to listen to it, and I remember liking it. I'll have to go back to it, but these guys definitely have a very unique sound and energy, and especially fucking, like I said, Clockwork talked to me and essentially was like, yeah, nah, I see you out there doing your thing. Anybody that's going to be like, yo, I see you out there on some shit, that's going to get me that's going to get a lot of respect out of me, because a lot of motherfuckers out there like to pretend I don't exist and like to act as though I'm not out there. So for anybody to give any kind of recognition like that, I give a lot of respect. And again, as far as the actual award was concerned, it was neck and neck for a while. And that's based on the fact of, I mean, I seen Magic Ninja with sponsored posts. You know what I'm saying? So
well, no, everybody likes to win. If you get nominated, you like to win. That's why once I said my piece about the nominations, I didn't say shit about the awards, because
right.
I mean, I get people want to win.
Know what? Here's the thing, man. It is, first of all, it kind of is what it is. But second of all, like, for a lot of the things, I'm going to say this. I don't know how new Resnick is, but I will say that dude definitely put in work and earned the award.
Yeah, but he's from overseas too, so you when you're dealing with an overseas fan base, you're dealing with a number of people that we can't compare to here.
Well, see, that was one of the reasons. That was one of the things that I was going to say, is that, you know, anytime you're dealing with European fans, they come out in fucking force.
Well, not just European, anywhere overseas. I mean, Asia. If you pop in Asia, you're all set.
Oh, no, exactly.
I mean, but straight the fuck up. You pop in a place like China, there's 1 billion people there. There's more people there than there are anywhere else.
It is the dream of mine to find a way to pop in Japan or South Korea. I need to figure out the market.
Fucking do K-pop, baby.
Okay. So I wanna hit this, and I don't want to lose it this time. So segue into something or some shit. I don't know.
All right. So while you're taking your dab, I guess we'll move on to the next thing. Can you talk about what you've got coming up?
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple of my own projects. I also have I have this EP with I'm doing beats from the homie Venom, who he works real close with Murder Music. I don't know if he's officially part of it, but the beats are dope and the songs are real good so far. So it's looking good this far.
I haven't checked out the latest to come out of Murder Music. I heard that PTB and the homeboy Queen Crimson did a track together, and I heard it was hot fire, or at least that's what it read on Playboy the Beast's fucking post. Now, I don't know if that was a strict money grab.
Has to be.
Because
think about it. PTB is the kind of guy, he don't even really like fucking with hardcore that much. He does, and he clearly has a certain amount of disdain for it, which, I mean, is kind of understandable, because he's a juggalo of a long time. And, well, I don't know if he would still represent that way necessarily. I mean, it depends. But the whole thing is that Crimson is just – that dude is the fucking epitome of whack underground juggalo rapper. And PTB's got kids.
And that's a funny segue, because Crimson's got a track coming out with a dude local to us.
Really?
Who was also on Dr. Phil.
Oh, that's right. This fucking Tony DeYoung. Who the fuck is that guy?
Tony DeYoung. Tony DeYoung is a registered sex offender in the state of Massachusetts.
Oh, well. That's interesting. So how does that work? Like, how is he on what was his episode about?
He got roasted on Dr. Phil for claiming that he had a deal with Rick Ross and all this shit. Very similar.
They got Rick Ross and they were like, fuck no.
Very similar to fucking King Crimson. Yeah, they apparently called a bunch of labels that Tony DeYoung was claiming he got signed by. And they were like, Dr. Phil was like, they've never heard of you. They've never heard of you, Tony.
So wait. So let me just figure this out. So these two dudes who clearly, first of all, suck at rapping, just based on what you may hear of what they've done.
Yeah.
So you take that. and then you put them on Dr. Phil for sucking at life
Yep.
and fucking their families up,
Yep.
spending a ton of money doing this bunch of nonsense.
Yep.
Even if it happens to be staged, they are still willing to represent themselves in this way.
Yep.
And then by the end of it, they decide that they are going to put out a song that aims to diss or disrespect Dr. Phil, who realistically, when you consider the nature of the show and what it's supposed to be, I mean, he may do a piss poor job of it and he may be a cash grab celebrity whore, but the whole idea is supposed to be people bettering their lives and bettering themselves. So you're going to go on fucking record and make a song saying fuck Dr. Phil just because he essentially held a mirror up and said, well, I mean, you see what you look like, right? I mean, you can see your own face in the mirror. Can you see it? We're showing it to you. Do you see it? I mean, like, it's stupid. And honestly, here's the other thing. I've heard people saying something about the Crimson and PTB track is going to be a Shaggy diss. What?
Oh, I thought it was already out.
What?
I thought that shit was already out.
I'm sorry, but look, let me just say this.
If Tony DeYoung and Crimson diss Dr. Phil, I'll have to write a track and pull out the Dr. Phil voice for it. Get me a hot beat so I can drop my 16, Deborah.
Give me a hot beat so I can drop a 16 on it.
Let me drop a 16 on him, Deborah.
I feel like you don't understand.
Don't make me call Oprah. Your life is hoopla. I don't know. You know me.
Oh my Lord.
All right. Next topic. As we pull in towards, I mean, we're not going to go too long. I only got a couple more topics to talk about. But did you see the tweet from fucking the Queen train whore herself?
All right. So look, this is what I have to say about
First of all, it's my theory that it's not even her. That it's Jay using her social media.
I mean, that's definitely possible, if only because you know the kind of relationship that they have as far as like control and dominance and shit. So you know that she's a victim type, she's a submissive, she's going to do pretty much whatever he says. And especially based on the fact of, I mean, let's just think of this in terms of like how you know people that date. If you have somebody and you were dating and it was a thing for a bit, and then you broke up and things got weird, and then you were talking to other people, and it was made public through social media that you weren't happy about that aspect of it, and then eventually got back together, logic dictates that you are going to be all the fuck over their social media and cell phone. So it's definitely a possibility, but I mean, look, first of all, this shit is kind of silly, but second of all, look, number one, I think that if anybody has disrespected the Juggalo ideal, it would be Blahzay Rose for the reason that she appeared on the scene unceremoniously. Was it before Wizard or before ICP? Which one was it?
It was before ICP because I was on my way home and people were texting me about it.
So at least it wasn't that. All right, fine. But unceremoniously does not even perform, which that will always remain as something that was very suspect and kind of
we don't know why now anyway.
I don't what.
Oh, she was too drunk, man.
Oh, well.
Most of the time the simplest answer is the correct one.
Yeah, Ocam's razor. Razor. The motherfuckers need to cut their wrists with it.
I mean, I didn't even fucking question it when I was told it because I was like, all right, well, that makes sense.
Fair enough. Well, this is the thing, is that it's definitely possible, but realistically, considering the fact that she showed up the way that she did and then but left the label because she was dropped, she was said to be like unmanageable, basically, and then continues to be seen on the arm of Jay and continues to still essentially be his chick and do all this. So
to a point.
Juggalettes ain't supposed to have no self-respect then. Like, that's basically what that's aiming it to be. Like, you have this whole victim abuser, you know, revenge fantasy character, but yet you were essentially you were like utilized and victimized by a man, and then monetarily left in the dust as far as the artist and this and that is concerned, and has done no work as far as I know of any kind since. And then from there, go back to the man and be seen with him publicly, continuously on tour and this and that, and then keep talking about the culture as though like you didn't contribute to a certain amount of tarnishing of it. Like, I remember, look, this is the one thing that I'm going to say. I remember at that gathering, the last Legend Valley gathering, I remember that G-Moski was there, and he didn't get to perform because I guess it was kind of a political thing, but he was walking around. I got a copy of Android 15, and I remember seeing him post something after talking to him about, you know, like he was hanging with Les Legs, the homie in the wheelchair from Philadelphia, well, Pennsylvania anyway. And I remember him saying something like, you know, like, this is all crazy, like, and I'm supposed to be the next chapter of this shit. That's crazy to me. That to me makes it seem like, well, regardless of what the circumstance was, he was actually humbled and like cared about what he was going to be doing, seeing as he was only on the cusp. His album hadn't come out yet. He had just dropped G, which people liked it. The video was dope. And people were wondering what the fuck was going to happen, you know, looking back at his old shit. And, like, considering the road that it's taken from there, it's like, I don't think G-Moski disrespects the Juggalo ideal. I mean, he clearly is disrespecting ICP by saying fuck Violent J, but he's on a level where it's like, it's not just...
But think
like
about what else got said there. Think about what else got said in that tweet. It wasn't just about him saying whoop whoop on stage. It was about his relationship with Twisted.
I only saw the one part, but here's the other part. At the end of the day, you're really going to try to look at this after this long as though Twisted is really on some, they're the bad guys, they walked away and said, fuck you type shit. When honestly, first of all, you don't seem to hear Twisted saying all that much fuck you shit. You know what I'm saying? I will say that on Still I Rise, there was that line Madrox said something about, like, ever since you forced me to pick sides. I mean, come on. That's pretty blatant.
Let me tell you, Pete, that one slid under the radar. There's a lot that slid under the radar.
But at the same time,
like, I shit you not that there's a lyric on the Year of the Sword record that is... The hatchet never be better, M&E rather. And, like, I think it slid under the radar completely.
Shit.
There's a lyric on Year of the Sword that is, the hatchet'll never be better, M&E rather.
Look, here's the thing.
I'm like,
this is what I'm going to say. What I will say is this. This is unfortunate. This is, I think, an unfortunate aspect to me, is... G-Mo seemed like in the video where he was doing the roast, if you will, he seemed like pissed off about it. And I'm kind of like, this is my thing.
Because he probably fucking knows it's not her.
Well, but this is, you know what?
Here's the thing.
But knowing G-Mo as, I mean, you know him better than me. That's fair enough. But as I have come to see him, he's very brash and very willing to go there. So if he thought it was him, I think he would have just said, yo, Jake.
No, because that's the thing. You can't go directly at him. What you got to do is go at her. And
well, he did.
Well, I mean, not even that hard, really, in my opinion, to be honest.
Look, fair enough. This is my point, is that, I mean, quite frankly, for who she is now, after all this time, that to me is something like...
That's why I don't think that she's got the balls to do that. I think that Jay did that.
And you know what? Again, I definitely think it's possible. It's not outside the realm of possibility, not even a little bit. But I mean, look. This is all I'm going to say. As far as fucking Blahzay, Becky, Christine is concerned, all I need to know is from the Mars situation. Because here's the thing: if she was bold enough, whoever it was that said that shit about Mars, if they were bold enough to say that when they got stabbed and their life was essentially threatened, if they were bold enough to talk some shit then talking shit later about somebody just
That's
saying,
what I mean, man. I don't think that
no problem.
she would be doing it unless he was directing her to do so.
And you want to know what? It's definitely possible. But like I said, to me, the fact that the way that the whole situation with Blahzay Rose went down over time, considering realistically that it's all like documented and verifiable through social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, there's all these different posts and pictures and screenshots and this and that. And there's all this different, essentially historical record. It's funny to call it that.
Oh, there's new historical records hitting the internet today. Somebody basically hit her up and said, look, you need to quit your shit talking, or this picture that no one's seen yet, which we've all seen enough pictures of this bitch to where there's literally nothing that's going to embarrass her more. You would think, okay?
You would figure.
Especially given the fact that we have verifiable oral history, and I use the word oral ironically and literally here, okay, because it came out of Jay's mouth and into hers, so to speak.
Yeah, no, well,
right.
no, not even. Come on, let's
of
talk
the
about
fact
the fucking...
of how she was introduced to the crew, okay, as whatever through Young Wicked, and how whatever occurred, and we all know this. So what is the picture? I'm still, it's on Twitter. I tried tracking it down. It's her and Fuego Flames, and
no, it's not Fuego Flames.
Not Fuego. It's Misery, and he got a
dude
hand
tried
on a
to say
titty.
that it was Hoodoo, so it kind of threw
somebody
off
said it was Hoodoo. You know what I'm talking about, then?
Yeah, no, I saw that. I mean, dude, here's the thing. First of all, it was
but
just
as Jay, how are you running around and you wife that? How are your homies letting you run around and you wifed that?
Well, this is what I'll say about it.
You gotta be angry.
I mean, depending on how wifed she actually is, I guess it depends. Because look, this is the thing, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Violent J is very, very clearly in some form of midlife crisis. Well, not only just that, but I mean, you have to figure if after this much time, you know, they're still doing the different things that they're doing, and it seems much more disjointed. Like, I don't know. As far as I know, he's an effective co-parent. So as long as he's taking care of his kids, he's not a complete piece of shit, in my eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
since you went there, and it's kind of connected, KG taking over all the fucking social media, I think was to prevent Jay from having access to social media. And I find it odd that this would pop up on Blahzay's feed when just 2 weeks ago a Twitter account popped up in the name of one Ruby Bruce, the 11-year-old daughter of Joe Bruce. Now, besides the fact that the recommended age for a user on Twitter is a minimum of 13 years old, I'm not even going to go there with the whole she's 11, she shouldn't be on fucking Twitter. You got a bunch of crazy juggalos whose Twitter feeds are full of drugs, sex, and nudity who are following her and she's following. But some of her tweets are pretty fucking weird. And one in particular worries the shit out of me. And I don't even want to speculate on what it could mean.
Okay.
One of the early tweets from the account had something to do with, if you see bruises on my arms, I fell. I shit you not.
Are there screenshots of that?
Hold on. Let me go on. It's still up there. Nobody, like I've talked about it with a couple of people, but nobody has like really gotten into it. But that little girl shouldn't be on Twitter any fucking way. If that's
No,
really
that's
her, if
dude.
that's
Let
really
me tell
her
you
and that ain't
something.
just Joe.
My fucking kids ain't gonna have access to social media, at least through access of my house. Like anything that they do is gonna be done through one email account, and I'm gonna have absolute
Ruby
access to it.
Bruce Lee is the name of the account. And this is who this says it is because this account interacts with Sugar Slam.
Interesting.
Who would be this child's mother, right?
Well, assumably. I mean, look, this is the thing, man. If that's really there, that to me seems just cartoonishly out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, you don't even know.
That's wild. I mean, hey, man,
on.
I'm not there for a lot of this shit. Apparently,
like I had to like step away. Like I refuse to interact with an 11-year-old kid on social media.
No, fuck all that. No, dude, are you kidding me? There was a chick. What's her name? Majo something. Fucking. She unfriended me. After, like, we had actually met physically when I was stranded in St. Louis on a flight.
It's a lot of animal pictures.
And well, but not peep game. And she, like, tagged fucking Jay's mom on some shit. And I removed the fucking tag and removed the comment. Like, nah, man, we're not going to out fucking senior citizens on my Facebook. That's what we're not going to do. Like, it just juggalos get ridiculous, but you want to know what? When you have to think about it and you take some time, I got killers in my backyard wearing anybody killer paint, so I guess anything's possible. Like, fucking.
I found the tweet on February 23rd. This account, that's Violent J's daughter. If you guys ever see my wrists in pictures, you will probably wonder what's on my wrists. It's scars. Last year, I got in a skiing accident and I broke both my wrists. I also have another scar on the other wrist, too. But just telling you if you're wondering. What? Did this kid try to... I'm not even... See, I don't even want to speculate.
Well, and you know what? You probably shouldn't. Like, I mean, look, here's the thing. The fact that something like this is out there, and like you said, interacts with, I don't know. Look, this is what I'm going to say. I don't even think that a 13-year-old should be allowed to use Twitter because Twitter, your shit can be featured in the news.
That's what I'm saying.
That Donald Trump is shaping world policy one tweet at a time. At a certain point, you have to recognize that something is dangerous in the hands of a child. And I mean, ever since I was a kid, internet usage was always regulated. My kids do not have any usage of that shit. And I think about it, Lily is going to be 10 this year.
But
so that's only a year and a half
I mean,
younger.
it looks like it could be her. And that bothers me too.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, look, again, this is the kind of thing where, I mean, usually I try not to step too deep into it. But again, that's also like, you know, that's why I've always been Team Choir Boy, because I hear the things that I hear about Ouija not fucking taking care of his kids at all. And so I think, oh, well, because that's going to influence my decisions on whether or not I'm going to, like, mentally fuck with anything. Because I'm not going to lie. Mentally, I'm able to still rock with old ICP shit and still be able to, you know, be there and be in the crowd and have a good time. But a lot of the newer music and shit, I'm not there with it. It does not have the same effect with me. And that's mainly because the curtain's been pulled so fucking far back that you can't really go back to the way that it was at that point. Like, we'll never be able to go back to feeling exactly the way that we used to feel, knowing the way that things are now. You know what I'm saying?
Did you end up going to the clowns?
No, I did not. Did not have any kind of sitter or anything going on.
I didn't hear nothing about that show.
I don't know. The couple of people that I saw tweeting about it seemed to think that it was pretty good. I have to imagine it wasn't bad. The stage set that I saw, the pictures of it.
Oh yeah, no, I got to give them props on that whole coming out in toy boxes shit. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. If
Like,
they didn't
you know,
do play with me
I'll
with
give
a
you
stage,
props.
if they didn't do play with me with a stage set like that, then they failed.
Am I going to see you on Friday? Yes.
Yeah, more than likely. Shit,
bet.
that's what it looked like. I was just talking to Problematic today, so fucking doing something with that.
Should
But,
be lively,
definitely,
man. We're gonna try to fucking set a precedent. I'm gonna play that whole Lars record on repeat.
Oh shit!
Have you heard that Lars record?
I haven't heard the whole thing, but I'm not gonna lie. The couple of songs that I've heard, regarding Gordy and Bizarre, because look, I got love for them dudes. They have put in massive work. They're like icons in the underground. I never got that deep into them, either of them, but everything that I've heard from Lars thus far has actually been pretty dope.
Yeah.
So
like I really got into it. Twisted Shop sent me the CD, so I've had it in the car, and like, so it starts off with like, you know, you got that fucking stomp shit, stomp a motherfucker out, and like there's like kick a baby raps on that shit, right? A couple of them tracks are on some kick some baby raps, but then there's other tracks on there that literally on some Kid Rock shit. Like there's a track on there called California, I think, that's literally like a Kid Rock song.
Wouldn't see that coming.
Like it's like a road song. It's like a get on your Harley and hit the road song. It's fucking amazing.
Well, you want to know what? I mean, I have to imagine, especially considering that they're calling themselves the last American rock stars, and if they're making songs that sound like that, fair enough. But if they're making songs that sound like that, they obviously recognize that there are certain people in, let's call it, I guess, the outlaw community that are starting to kind of acclimate towards rap, because a lot of the people in rock and roll have really lost their edge, and these fucking dudes haven't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of good shit. They just dropped a video today for the song Ganja Man.
I saw some of that. Yeah, no, I'm saying,
Ganja Man, which Ganja Man's a fucking that's a reggae song.
Nah, for real.
You know what I mean? That's a straight up reggae song.
I think, and I got to tell you, because I'm not going to bullshit you, Chuck. When I had first heard that they got Bizarre and Gordy, and everybody was like, oh, Davidians and whatever, then I was wondering, like, oh, what's the thought process? Like, how are they going to utilize these guys who have been out there this long and have this reputation, and like, how is this going to work out in this way? And I got to be honest, based on what they're doing supplemented by what you're saying about them and the album and what I'm hearing and seeing, it seems like they knew what they were doing as far as like, marketing them and packaging them as this like this full act, which is another thing where like, Twisted is getting a lot of shit for doing the Warped Tour, but it's like, dude, why the fuck not? If you can get in front of that many people at once, your fans are going to try to come out for it. And then on top of that, you're going to be in front of a bunch of other people that have never seen your shit before. You can do shit that they might like. Why the fuck not? How the fuck? What? There's no selling out anymore. That's not the way this shit works. Nowadays, you can sell out to yourself if you go viral. Yeah. So, like, really? Like, I'm trying to get a track with this dude, fucking Vocals, who he went viral and he got on Tosh.0 for snorting a fucking line and screaming like a velociraptor. You know what I'm saying? And now, but dude, he puts out mad shit. Like, he puts out like a video every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and fucking like getting out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
fuck, man. I wish there was a way for me to share video with you. There's a video I stumbled upon. I wish I could even remember what the dude's name was. But there's this video it's a rap video. It's not in English. It's like in Ukrainian. And in the video is like probably the hardest shit I've ever seen. Like,
that's a bold statement.
I'm talking about, like, imagine the dudes who run the Hostel from the movie Hostel.
Right.
Like those cats. Just shirtless, Eastern Bloc jail tats, looking like dude from that movie Eastern Promises.
Right. Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, like gold chains, Adidas warm-up pants,
Right.
like AKs, rapping, just rapping, doing tons of yak in the video and drinking and cutting people and just like in slum buildings.
This sounds
and
like some shit that is right up my alley.
like in the Eastern Bloc, like just hard.
Dude, you know how the fucking dude, you know how Eastern Europeans get down, bro.
Yo, I seen this video and I was like, what am I watching? And it reminded me the first time I saw Brick in Your Face, where I was like overwhelmed by the ignorance. Like, you know what I mean? Just overwhelmed. Hold on, let me see if I can find out what this dude's name is.
Well, not because you're right. There really is just not as much shit. Well, you want to know what? There was something recently where I shared it. It was these guys like Hikari Ultra 69, or not 69, but it was Hikari Ultra or something. It was these dudes in New York that used to fuck with 6ix9ine that do like that same kind of crazy, angry, yelling, screaming rap, but like there's a part in the video where a dude licks a shot in the air. They got at one part where a dude's fucking jacking heroin, but they got the needle blurred out.
Yeah.
They got guns and shit. And I don't know. I thought that shit was tight, but I thought it was tight because it's like, again, yeah, that just ignorance factor, like Little Big type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Antwoord type shit. Oh, dabs.
Hold on. I'm talking like even more over the top than that. Let me see.
I believe it. If you're saying that it's Europeans, bro.
And this dude, it's up on World Star. That's what's fucking with me, is that he got it put on World Star, and it obviously had the proper. Well, that ain't it.
World Star probably don't cost that much anymore.
No, I mean, and it's pretty well known. It's fairly easy to get your shit on World Star. It's like 500.
That's not bad.
That's to get like a feature spot too. You know what I'm saying? Where in the fuck
if you
is
got
it?
a good video, it's worth it.
Because now it's gonna bother me.
Man, I remember there was this one video, dude. There were these 3 bitches. It was called Better Off Young Boy, and it was these 3 bitches rapping, and they were like twerking and dancing and shit. And they weren't bad lyrically. Somebody was probably ghostwriting for them, but like, fucking. They just did this one track and then just disappeared. Never heard about them again. Like, World Star is a weird fucking place. I'm going to tell you what. World Star is a very strange place.
Yeah.
The comment section in World Star is where civility goes to die.
No, that ain't it. Damn it. See, now I'm gonna be. That's the thing. When I get off the show, I'm gonna spend the next 2 hours looking for this shit.
Well, but so you can't just Google Ukrainian deathcore rap video.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the easiest. We'll try that specifically.
I feel like
nah. Hold on, let me check my YouTube history, because it's entirely possible that in my YouTube history this fucking video exists. I watched it through a page. See, that's where I fucked up. I should have clicked it through. Oh, see, and this isn't even my fucking YouTube channel.
Oh, I know.
So I can't even look at my history.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hold on. It was a Noisy article, I think. Noisy, World Star.
That sounds like some prayers type stuff.
Crazy rap.
Vato's hanging out at the cemetery.
Craig Mack died.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Sucks.
Man, that shit's whack. And Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking died on Pi Day. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, no shit. Fucking...
And Einstein's birthday. Dude, tell me that the universe doesn't have a fucking sense of humor.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah. A German rapper went viral on YouTube and everyone in America is confused.
Ha! German. Oh, boy.
One day after it was published on YouTube, it already had surpassed 1 million views. Jesus. GZUZ. The song was called Was Hast Du Gedacht? What did you think? And it's like just grills and fucking Guido looking Germans, and yak
Man.
and fucking murder.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to check this out once I get off of here, man.
I'm gonna end up playing it when I go off the air. That's how I'm gonna close the show. Just mostly because I want to see it. But
Hey, fuck it.
yo, man, yeah, it's 12:30, man. We did a good hour. I appreciate you coming by. We'll have to do this again next week.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, man. We'll talk later. Stay
All
tuned.
right.
I'm gonna play this
brother.
crazy ass rap video that we were talking about.
All right, much love, man.
Peace, man. There we go, heads. The man, the myth. His name is Mad Max. I'm going to play this crazy ass European rap video real quick. And y'all are just going to have to deal with it. And I don't know. And that's how we're going to end the show. And I'll be back tomorrow. And we can talk about how this makes you feel right before you go to sleep. Because this shit is amazing. Babe, check this out. Look, there's a dude in a clown mask. It's right up our alley as juggalos. Look, guns, bullets. Look at that crazy motherfucker.